Oh, yeah, we only punted 6 times last year. And the year before that, we only punted 5 times. I'm a real believer that punt is like the worst word that any offensive guy could say. The middle school is not allowed to punt at all. It's the worst thing to say. Don't bring it up.
614 Headsets is proud to be powered by Fundraising University of Ohio. Coaches, are you tired of slow, complicated, and outdated fundraising? Then it's time to level up with Fundraising University, the fastest, easiest, and most effective way to raise money for your high school football program. With Fundraising University, you'll run technology-driven fundraisers that are safe for your athletes and simple for your supporters. No hidden fees, no tipping models, just clean, honest fundraising that delivers results. Using our signature Blitz process, your team can launch a successful fundraiser in just 60 minutes. And get this, you'll receive your profit check within 1 to 2 days. No more waiting weeks or months. We offer it all, digital and hard copy discount cards and tickets, plus fan favorites like popcorn, coffee, beef sticks, and cookie dough. Every product ships straight to supporters' homes, no handling or deliveries for your athletes. And with our text-to-donate platform, your reach goes nationwide. And above all, safety. Every fundraiser is built to be safe and secure for your athletes and supporters because that's something you as a coach can't afford to overlook. Coaches, if you're ready to dream big and raise more and want a professional fundraising coach who brings energy, connection, and results, then contact Fundraising University and Brent Maxwell today. Let us take fundraising off your plate and put money back in your program. Visit fundraisingletteru.net or call Brent at 740-501-8946. Fundraising University. Dream big, raise more.
It's a good win. There's a lot of people. It's like Woodstock, except everybody's got their clothes on.
But eat a damn snack.
You're like my wife when you get in space. You just get lost.
It's ahead! Short steps are better than long steps. That's the only time in your life you're going to hear short is better than long. It's ahead!
Welcome back to 614 Headsets. Another night of adversity, but it hasn't changed for the second week in the row. The boys battle through and make it happen, right? Hey, we're 3 high school football coaches committed to bringing you great football content that's both entertaining and educational. We say we're the spot where strategy meets story. Thank you for finding us. We're getting down to the end here on season 3. Ryan and I were talking the other day. Season 3 guests have been absolute fire. And tonight is another testament to that. We've got a fantastic coach that is picked to maybe go back to a state championship again this year. And then we had Coach Elder last week as well. So awesome story, awesome episode we have coming up here. Boys, how are we doing this week?
I think this season has been fire. Let's just say that, though. Like, we've had great coach after great coach on here, and they've done great jobs for us. But this week is super exciting. You already know, like, you guys could throw on the shoulder pads this week. So super excited to play some football this week and get after it out on the field, get those acclimation days in. But I feel like, what did we say, like, probably a month ago? Hey, it's June, right? Like, now you're like, it's getting late in July. When I look at 16th, I'm like, I don't like that.
It's over. We're going to team camp next week.
So, I don't like it. I'm like, because I feel like I'm the king of when it's June. I'm like, bro, it's June 8th. We're fine.
Yeah.
Then we get to July 16th, and I look at my coach is like, we're not fine. We are not fine.
Yeah. I don't know why I looked at it and almost been like, man, are we behind? How are we doing? But I went back and looked back at old practice things as I'm doing it. I'm like, we're kind of right where we've been. I don't know why. Like, there's just this little bit of a time panic in my mind this year compared to other years.
That's what some of my coaches have said. We're a little ahead of like where we've been before.
Yeah.
We're in a good spot. I'm like, okay.
Donnie, man, how's your week been? And then let everybody know what episode 87 is all about.
Yeah, been a good week. Like you said, we got Ashland team camp next week. Got a little home renovation behind me, some busted up walls over here. But
Kyle, do you get to stop at home when you go to Ashland? You stopping back at the crib?
No, we don't waste time when we're there, baby. We get a lot of time done. My mom was even like, what are you doing? I'm like, Mom, from breakfast till past dinner, we are going. Like, don't have any downtime.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot to get Hannah Lincoln Lions. Don't play around, baby. There ain't no.
That's right.
There ain't no fun zone under Bruce's watch, baby.
Hey, unlike real lions that sleep for over 20 hours a day, these lions don't sleep. We just grind.
Hey, look, Bruce, I ain't playing with him. I understand. No fun zone. Keep going, Donnie. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm looking forward to the team camp next week. It has flown by, but like I was saying, a little bit of home renovation going on around me. So a little
What do
different
you got
background.
going on over there, big kitty?
Taking off a little bit of this wall over here, putting some shelves in. My wife was convinced that Coach Stout would help us for the longest time. I said, we're not going to ask him to do that. And I'm not doing it. So we got somebody coming in to take
So
some stuff
you're
apart. Yeah, I'm not doing that myself, Sayers. Go ahead, get it out of your system. Yes, I'm
good.
not doing that.
I'm okay. I'm not saying nothing.
You don't have to.
I'd have helped
That's not how I
you.
roll.
She might have had to watch the kids, but I would have helped you.
No,
I feel like Donnie just
Neither of us.
I feel like
Neither
he
of us.
literally has so much money that he doesn't even care. Look at him.
Yeah. You can
I
tell.
wish.
He's got money.
When a man doesn't hang his own shelves, he's got them
No,
pockets.
I could
Look at
hang the
money.
shelves.
Mom paid
They're all
for
around
it.
me right now.
He called his
They're-
mom.
Somebody else is making them. Trust me, it's not. You and I couldn't have gotten what she wanted. It wouldn't have happened. Not going to upset the president.
Story of
He
your
called
life.
his
You
mom.
can't give your wife what she wants. We know. We've heard it. So, episode 86.
No,
Oh, wow.
we're going to
That's
keep the
it.
intro piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do we got in episode 87?
We got a great episode with Coach Dreyer, head coach at Anderson High School in Cincinnati. Finally got a coach. This is the first one for tight ends specifically. So really talking about the golden age of tight ends, the trends that he's seen, what his program that's had great success, which he'll talk about 4 Division I tight ends in a row to come out of Anderson High School, how he likes to strategize with them, a little bit about their practice schedules, things like that, but really development usage of tight ends in today's game, not just in high school in general, in college, a little bit in the pros too.
Yeah, Coach runs a great program, and it was a fire episode. And before we get to that, though, Ryan, pump everybody up for this week and the rest of this episode on this
I feel
max
like
effort
you're-
locker rocker. Football coaches, listen up. You spend hours in the weight room and on the field pushing your athletes to be their absolute best. But are they fueling their bodies with the right supplements to maximize performance and recovery? Max Effort Muscle provides safe, trusted, and effective supplements designed specifically for athletes, trusted by Division I strength coaches and top college programs across the country. Their lineup includes everything your team needs to train harder, recover faster, and perform at their peak, from whey protein, amino recovery, creatine monohydrate, and NDR hydrate.
Listen, everybody knows football is won in the trenches. Don't let poor nutrition be the weak link in your program. Reach out to them today and get your team on Max Effort Muscle. They work with any team, any size, any budget. Visit maxeffortmuscle.com and email Tyler Treadway. His email is treadway@maxeffortmuscle.com to learn more about team pricing, partnerships, and get a custom package made for your team for as low as $250.
Your comment was already a locker rocker. I feel like you just rocked our lockers with talking to Donnie like that. But also, hey, Kyle, I feel like you're going to know who said this. Okay? I feel like you're going to know. Donnie, you're not that smart. So I don't know if you'll know, Big Cat. But victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win.
I'm going to guess you went with a little Sun Tzu, Art of War.
I love it. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
A little art of
that's a
war.
Fantastic book. I have it and read through the whole thing. And anytime I read a book, I love to have a pen and paper and take a lot of notes, or on the computer, and I'll put page numbers and highlights. So I knew it, man. Sun Tzu. Yeah.
Fire quote. I think that's like where we're at right now in football, right? Are you planning to win ahead in the season? Like right now, you are preparing to win. Like I think 7-on-7 slowing down a ton. It has slowed down a bunch, right? Like now it's time to really put your run game in. You guys go to team camp, right? Like you guys are planning right now. Like when you're planning a schedule as an offensive coordinator, Kyle, as when you get indie time, Donnie, you're planning to win. You're planning to be victorious. Not that day. You do want to win that day. You want to dominate the minutes that you're in your practice. But at the same time, you are planning to win later on, week 1, week 2, week 3, right? For you guys, like week 11, week 12, you guys are planning ahead everything that you're doing. And I feel like that's how you can become victorious. Everything shows week 1, like of what people have done during the summer, right?
I'm impressed with the Sun Tzu. We've had David Goggins, Sun Tzu, generals. Let's go. I'm ready to go. Let's get going into this golden age of tight ends. What's up, everyone? I'm fired up for our main guest today, Coach Evan Dreyer, the head coach at Anderson High School. They were 15-1 last year, ended up losing to the eventual state champion, Avon High School. And this is interesting. This is a first for us. Almost 90 episodes in, we're getting close, having two coaches who played each other in the state championship on back-to-back episodes. So Coach Elder came on and had a fantastic episode. Today, Coach Dreyer's coming on after reaching out to us, going to help us out, talk about tight ends and some things. And off camera, we talked a little bit. I actually got the opportunity to listen to Coach Dreyer on the Coach and Coordinator podcast last year, where he talked a lot about his team's unique practice situation where they go in the morning. And so we won't dive into that a lot, but I really do encourage you, if you like what you hear today, you want to listen to a very unique, different, alternative practice thing, check that out. It's a fantastic episode, and I finally connected the dots today before we got on. But Coach, man, thank you for coming on. Why don't you just take a moment? We always like to start off. Why don't you tell everybody about your football life or your football journey up till now?
So this is one of those things where we talk about it. I was lucky to be at Coleraine High School in 2008, and then head freshman coach. And then at the age of 22, I was a high school head coach at Western Brown High School. When you're really young and inexperienced, you lean on a bunch of mentors. And I've had a bunch of guys that helped me out. And then we went on a good run. And then I went to Oak Hills, a big Division I school on the west side of Cincinnati. And then I got to Anderson High School 8 years ago, and we've had a good run. And they're really a bunch of good players. But I think the biggest thing is that they won before. I came in at a perfect time, and the last 3 years have been good. We hit the regional championship, then the Final Four, and then lost in the state championship last year, and keep building this program up. We want to get in the top 100 nationally this year, and that's kind of where the journey is. But it's always interesting because I always start as a freshman head coach. So for all those guys that want to climb the ladder so fast, coach freshman football, coach middle school football for a year, you'll learn a lot about yourself, and then jump into it and go for it from there.
I always say I'm like I've never coached freshmen, and I always like really envy and respect those guys as I look over and I see them somehow putting together. Sometimes there's maybe only 2-3 coaches, and they're somehow figuring out how to divide it up and get it going. So I'm with you, Coach. A testament to those guys.
Hey, that first year that I was at Pick North, man, that's what I did. I was on the freshman. I did the JV on Saturday, and then I was on a headset on Friday night with D-line. So that first year, and I didn't even get paid. So it was great though. Like you learn so much about like yourself, like you said. But Coach, the Raptors, that's a fire mascot. Awesome. I love it. Yeah. I love it. When I was looking at it, like, look, not last year, the year before when you guys had lost, I think that was in the third round or fourth round, maybe.
Yeah, that was Massillon.
Yeah, to Massillon. So I remember like watching that game and stuff, but that was the first year, honest to God, that I like knew who Anderson was and the Raptors, and I was like, became a huge fan. I was like, dude, that's the best mascot that you can have.
I would say pre-COVID being the Redskins and then trade. That's another thing to put on.
Wow.
You change a mascot and how much money and fundraising, and you're talking about a tradition that people have been playing for over 70 years, and then going through this transition of a mascot and making sure you come out the other end to make sure everybody likes it.
Right, you're right.
You gotta be,
man. Isn't that season 3, man? New things keep happening all the time, but I'm glad you said it, because I actually never knew that transition happened. So I think that's really unique. You got Coach up there. He's a Commanders fan till he dies. And so the moment you said changing of the Redskins, I just saw his face in the grimace.
They got us both. They got us both. It is okay. We got past it. We're in brighter pastures now.
Let's get going into your favorite segment here.
The best one of them all, right? The Pick Six segment is powered by Storied Rivals Sports Media. Championships, friendships, and life lessons are among the most meaningful parts of the athletic competition. We are passionate about preserving them by offering the most unique highlight experience available.
That's right. Storied Rivals delivers your team's content with services designed to change the way you experience these unforgettable moments now and for a lifetime. Storied Rivals now offers a complete team apparel and player shop customizable to your program. Contact them by info@storyrivals.com to get started with them today. Go ahead, Ryan. You got the first question for Coach.
Hey, Coach, besides the practice thing, because I didn't know anything about the practice, you have obviously something unique in that, but we can go watch that video. But I was going to ask you, what's something unique about Anderson High School, or something that's maybe a tradition that you guys do as a school or as a football program that's unique to you guys that you love?
Oh, yeah, we only punted 6 times last year. And the year before that, we only punted 5 times. I'm a real believer that punt is like the worst word that any offensive guy could say. The middle school is not allowed to punt at all. It's the worst thing to say. Don't bring it up, because it's like just using the F word all the time. Language, and I truly believe that's the difference maker, guys. That's like the key thing. Go back and research. Nobody comes to a football team and says, hey, I want to be the punter. And this is not allowed. We don't put any running backs on our roster. It's all receivers and quarterbacks. That's another one that people always look at and say that we're nuts about that. I learned that from Mike Mock and Coach Crabtree back in the day, of just let athletes be athletes and don't pigeonhole anybody.
That's all. This guy's out here playing Madden rules, man. I love it.
I do. That's awesome.
Coach, my first question for you, what's your go-to song that gets you fired up in pregame like none other?
So I think it's going to be changed this year. It's probably going to be Backup Plan by Luke Combs for sure. I've already changed it. It's already number 1 on my running list for sure. It'll be on for sure number 1 before we walk out. Now, there is one of Buck Cherry that I love before the game. Like, that's old school, Crazy B for sure. Like, I just love it. I think it's old school. If you don't remember lifting weights through that Metallica, Buck Cherry, then you didn't lift weights in like the early 2000s.
Coach, I'm going to assume that this is in your own personal, like, you're not putting on Luke Combs and the Buck Cherry for the boys in the locker room, are you?
No, that's the thing, is that before the game, it's weird. The game's at 7. I don't let the coaches do anything until 4:30 or 5. The kids don't do anything after school. So we're totally different in the pregame meal. We lift at 4:45. I usually have a Diet Mountain Dew, a Chick-fil-A, and a cookie, and then go walk around and throw the ball around, boys. Like, I'm totally opposite of the regimented on Fridays of you sit there, stare at each other, and then every young coach hates his life because they have to go babysit the JV guys. That is the worst job on Fridays for all the young coaches, and the older coaches just sitting in the office staring at each other, going through every situation is like the worst 10, 15, 20 minutes of being questioned of, hey, what's the play call? Hash first down on the 40-yard line. Like, nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody's going to change it. So that's how the Friday goes.
Yeah, I don't know no Buck Cherry. I know who Metallica is, but I ain't listening to no Buck Cherry or nothing, buddy.
You're going to have to, man. You got to educate yourself.
I
But
know some like Young Buck, though. I know that's about it, though.
Coach, like, I think people can go back and find the benefits. It's super unique that your team practices for about an hour or a little over an hour every morning, even during the season. What were some of the challenges you had to work through to make that unique schedule work?
I think the biggest scare is, what if your star player doesn't show up and misses the day? Okay, what about injuries? What about rides? And making sure it's planned out the night before is the biggest thing. Like on Sundays, every position group has a Zoom meeting for 15 minutes. But right before Sunday Night Football, everybody has a 15-minute like preview. Our O-line coach has a really cool thing. He does Screencastify. So like he does a blitz portion, a front portion, a screen, 2 minutes, and goes through it. So like when you show up Monday morning, you already have everything that you need for 1st and 10. Our defense does the same thing and then puts it on Schoology. So everything's ready to go. And then when you practice, you kind of get the base stuff down. Then after school, you review the practice and you walk through what you're going to do on Tuesday. And then coaches stay after, and it goes through the whole week. The biggest, scariest is, okay, what if weather rains in the morning? That's good. So we can go practice in the gym. And then instead of doing a walkthrough, we'll do team after school for 10, 15 minutes. So it does help you out in any weather situation, or if you have a gym that you can't have after school, you can have it before school if it rains all day, and it makes everybody else happy. Like I get to see my kids and eat dinner, and the players get to go watch a volleyball game or a girls soccer game at night. So it does make some sense from that standpoint to bring. You can preach it all you want, but then every coach is, do I really want to go to the middle school game? I just had practice. I haven't seen my kids. So that's one of those other things that has helped an organization to make more connection to everybody in a program.
Coach, for you, I wanted to ask you, for you, what are your top 2 pet peeves? So the number 1 pet peeve in football and number 1 pet peeve just regular life.
Pet peeve is, okay, kids showing up like 5 minutes late, and before I say anything, blaming their parents. It's literally that's like the biggest pet peeve. So like for practice, it's going to start at 5:53. We lost to Coach Elder by 7. So instead of starting at 6, we'll start at 5:53 this year. Kid walks in at 5:55 and blames mom and dad. They're going to do a butt scoot. And so like the best punishment we created, you got to sit on your butt, you got to have your hands above your head, and you literally just got to push your forward. Your hands can't touch the ground. So you literally just got to scoot. Okay. And it's the best hamstring work somebody has. So you got to do that for about 50 yards. That's the biggest pet peeve, because time is the only thing you can't pay for. And I'll stand by that. If you want to show investment to a person, time, you give people time. And that's my number 1 thing. Pet peeve in life is just, okay, trash. Like a kid just leaves trash around the house. I lose my crap on my kids. Like, you just can't take 2 steps and put it in the garbage can. Like, I'm done. They're 12 and 9. Can't you just take 2 steps and put it in the garbage can? Like, I lose my mind of Snicker wrappers, Reese Cup wrappers, Sprites. So that's my biggest pet peeve. Take 2 steps and put it away.
Dude, that's
We've been working on that. We've been working hard on that. Yeah.
I love that you said that, because my number 1 is, I don't know what started my wife doing this, but she will pull in. I love my wife to death. Let me say that first. But she will pull in to the driveway, right? And we have the little fence right there where she parks next to. If she has trash in her car, she will take the trash out, dude, put it next to the fence and walk inside and expect me, when I get home from football, to grab the trash on my way in. It was in her car. It's the most unbelievable thing that's ever started happening.
That's crazy.
Coach, my second question for you, we're sticking away from football questions. You have to choose. You can listen to only one song for the rest of your life, or you can watch one movie for the rest of your life. Which one are you picking? And if you want to indulge, it's your choice. If you want to indulge on what the movie or what the song would be,
one movie.
Okay.
I'd probably have to go to the original Major League.
Ooh, Ryan's never seen that one.
I've never seen that.
Neither. See, here's the thing.
Are you kidding me right now?
Listen, Ryan's super young, and then I'm going to tell you what. Right now, we sit around all the time on the field, and we just ask Donovan, "Have you seen this movie?"
It'll be a tradition next week at camp.
No.
It'll be the same thing.
We ask him all the time, and every classic. This guy only likes like the Marvel DC stuff.
Not every single one.
Look, I don't really watch movies that much. Like, I'm not a big cat that wants to sit there and watch a movie. Here's me. I'm gonna watch Hangover and Step Brothers. Those are my top. I'm cool. Let me ride. But hey, Happy Gilmore. I will say this: the new Happy Gilmore coming out does have me excited.
Yep.
Never seen Happy Gilmore.
Let's hope it's see that classic example right there.
No, now I not agree with that, Donnie.
What do you mean can't agree with that? You haven't seen it. Nothing to agree with.
If you haven't seen all Adam Sandler movies, then you're a bum.
No.
I'm telling you, like, that was a classic example. That was just one, but that happens all the time. I'm telling you.
That's horrible.
Coach, last question. We've been on a streak here. Donovan, he's getting ready to have his first kid. And so the last couple episodes, and for the rest of the episodes, as long as we do them here on season 3, we're asking coaches and dads to give Donovan their best dad advice or elite dad parent hack.
First of all, the stuff you put down in your baby shower don't do it. Get like normal stuff. Talk to these guys and literally get some stuff you actually need.
Yes.
The diaper garbage can was probably the worst thing.
Main topic for tonight's show is really all about tight ends. It's the golden age of the tight ends. Talking with Coach Dreyer. And of course, the main topic of tonight's show is powered by First Down Playbook. First Down Playbook is nation's leading playbook and play design software. With over 35,000 professionally drawn, editable team plays with notes. Full playbooks start from be on your way to getting an edge over the competition. First Down Playbook can be your entire team management system with practice schedules, scripts, custom quarterback wristbands, and more. If you use the code HEADSETS25 or mention the show, you get 15% off what's already the most affordable option in today's game. Link is in our show notes. It'll be back on Twitter whenever they give us our account back. Even though it's middle of July, you got time. I wouldn't say that unless we actually believed it. You got time if there's something new that you want to try with your playbook, with your system, with your team. But Coach, we're talking all today about how to maximize the use of the tight end in today's offense, strategies, what you guys do, advantages, any current trends you're seeing. But in your opinion, how has the current kind of role or usage of tight end really evolved over the past decade, whether that's from a high school, college, NFL, all the above, one of the three? What have you seen in the past decade or so?
I think the biggest thing is that kids are wanting to be tight ends now. And like they're growing into a position where it used to be cool to be a receiver, linebacker, due to Kelsey, Gronk, and how their personalities have taken over. I would tell you more kids are coming up and saying, I want to be a tight end, D end for sure as they come up through youth football, middle school football, into high school. So it's become a cool thing. And if you're a big, strong, athletic guy coming up through, it is cool now to be a tight end, to be athletic at the line of scrimmage and catch passes. And I think it's grown over the last pretty much post-COVID for us in our program of how many tight ends we've had.
I will say, like at the college level too, I was just thinking as we were talking, that tight end seems to be like the one position almost protected a little bit from like the transfer portal. So like from the high school to college, like you don't hear like the big time tight ends leaving as often. You don't see it like the top left tackle, like Kiddo went to Ohio State, right? Top left tackle from Rice, now he's going to Ohio State. Like you don't see that as much. It's a little more protected from a recruiting standpoint too, where you still have an opportunity to some extent.
I think having 4 Division I tight ends in a row in our program, like you see how many people want to do 12 personnel in red zone. They want to be 11 personnel. I always go back and watch the tape of Rose Bowl, Oklahoma, Georgia, of how Lincoln Riley dialed it up that night of not switching up his personnel. And I would tell any offensive guy, watch that, review that, and how you can play to everybody's strengths. And it's like one of those best things that I go for and look for yearly as I watch college football this year of who's going to be the offensive guy that doesn't take the tight end, that puts him out at number 1, lines up at number 3. Can he line up in the backfield at all? And gets their strengths from there.
Yeah, you dive in that light bulb tree and some of those guys. It's good film watching all that stuff. They do a really good job with the shifting and moving those guys around with that. So, Coach, you talked about big and strong athletic, but what are maybe some other traits you look for? You just mentioned you had 4 Division I tight ends come up in a row. Maybe you're evaluating them as they're coming up through. Like, what traits would you suggest is crucial in today's game for a tight end?
I think it starts out with like all of those guys were multi-sport guys that played basketball. Like they were all like small forwards and were able to play the post. And then they had to come out and play outside the post, outside the lane by the 3-point line, pick and roll. And then like in football, they grew up as like the big quarterback in youth football. They played multiple like positions. And then, so they knew the game, they knew both sides of the ball, and they were really smart in the classroom. So like they could play multiple positions. So like they played tight end, they played receiver, but then they also had the backup quarterback just in case in the red zone package. Everybody wants to draw up the Cam Newton stuff still to this day. Then you also have to play like a 5 technique if you want to play even defense. So like the intelligence was there, and every coach talks about violent hands, but I think them being able to play 7th, 8th grade, different spots, freshman year, play different spots, and then they grow into, okay, now we can use his skill set in a variety of ways, and he can learn it. And, okay, the O-line coach can have him for 8 minutes of Indy. We can do routes on air. He can do all that stuff, and he's not going to get beaten down mentally was the biggest thing that I will tell you, because a lot of coaches want to be like, he's got to do this, he's got to do that. We don't have enough time. He's not smart enough, and we're not going to play to his strengths week in and week out.
Coach, for you guys, like, how? So, do you have a tight end coach? Do you coach the tight end? What's that kind of look like for you guys, and how do you go through their development process to make sure that you guys are having these D1 prospects? Obviously, you guys are doing a great job.
So we have a tight end coach that does all the run game. So that's the main thing I will tell anybody. Like, you can't have a receiver coach say, "Hey, I need you to kick out on power and then lead through on zone." Like, it just doesn't work that way when you're talking about like tight end fit violence. So starts off every practice like in our run game walkthrough at 5:53. Then he comes in for routes on air. Then he goes back to it for like blitz pickup. So he's always going to place where it's going to be adaptable to him. Stop wasting time during practice and make sure it's the most efficient thing. There has been some years where, okay, all right, in red zone, all right, are we going to throw in the ball other than like a slant, first press, fade ball? Okay, flat screen, that type of thing. Do we really want to practice anything else in the red zone? So like in the red zone, we're doing 7-on-7. He was doing inside run. So the tight end coach, he is all about the run game. Plus, when I take the first team guy down to routes on air, the second team guy goes down. So it's almost like 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 coaching all the time.
When you talk about coaching for tight ends, specifically looking at the pass game side of things, what's the difference in your mentality, your coach's mentality, when it comes to coaching routes for tight ends, maybe versus receivers or hell, even running backs when you're getting involved in the passing game? What's that kind of philosophy difference like when you're specifically coaching tight ends?
So I think the biggest thing is like, how did he grow up? Did he play inside, outside? Did he play quarterback? We've had variety of receivers like that play tight ends lined up at number 1 or inside slot, do their comfortability, and then we grow it into their skill set of, are they a vertical threat at all? Are they a big body? Can they play slot? And versus different teams, where are they going to line up? The biggest thing I will tell you, like when we talk about routes on air, most coaches do it, they like script routes on air. We do it by individuals. So, hey, Mike is up. He's going to run this. Ty's going to run this. Okay, Coop's going to run this. And I know that's a different way to think about it, but I think it's pretty adaptable because as an offensive coordinator, do you really want to throw a 10-yard out to a kid that can't run a 10-yard out to the field? Can your quarterback even throw it, but you're going to practice it? I would think about that. That's been really good to us. And adapting our routes on air to the individual rather than just saying, hey, everybody run a 10-yard hitch. Okay, everybody's going to run a slant like this. And then we coach it like basketball. We talk about crossing people over. We talk about, okay, when you try to get into the lane, all right, this is how we're going to do it. So there's a little bit of basketball because all those guys do is watch and one every day on TikTok, and they know all the moves. So why wouldn't we take that in the receiver play and go from there?
Coach, talk to us. Like you said, you've had the last couple of years some really good tight ends, and I know you've notoriously put up a lot of points in the last couple of years as well. What are some great ways to utilize those tight ends, run or pass? Like, how are you unlocking an advantage with them?
I think the biggest thing is they line up all over the field. So, like when you look at your offense, do they line up? Okay, are they in line, offline? Are they 1, 2, or 3 in your trips package? Can you line them up different places without making it hard? And I think that's the bigger thing. And then in like empty or quads, okay, what can they do from there? Can you line up and stack and just block a corner and throw a quick screen? Or if it's covered, motion them down in, okay, or opposite to get the matchup you want. It starts there. Like ours have been, okay, is he a vertical threat? Can he catch the ball over the middle? Like what's his best route? Okay. Is he going to be able to break a tackle on a flat screen? Can we pop him for 5? Can he run a 5-yard out and get us 7 yards by falling forward? It's just simple stuff. Like don't reinvent the wheel. But if you go into your defensive staff tomorrow and know, hey, Mike is always going to line up there, then I think you already know the tight end problem of, okay, how many times does Mike block for your best player on a quick screen? If he hasn't, then you got to think about that of like, why wouldn't you put a big body on a corner and see that? Another one of those things is we don't allow our guys to run out of bounds on quick screens. Like, you have to get tackled inbounds and get the ball back to the referee as fast as possible. That's just like one of those golden rules of make corners tackle, make safeties tackle in football, because every defensive coach is going to be, hey, let's worry about the coverage, not the tackling. Every DB coach, like, they want to make sure they don't get burned deep. Hey, we're playing this palms. We're playing quarters. We're going to roll this. When are the DBs doing their actually tackling circuit, and how many really want to tackle guys 10 plus times in a game, especially tight end?
You're 100% right. Those are the prima donnas of the group traditionally for me, as the receivers and the DBs. You already know. I think that's traditional for every single team. Coach, this wasn't really on the sheet for you that you were going to get asked tonight. I'm just curious because I'm a huge fan of the Bustin' with the Boys, and there was the episode with the tight ends, and they're at tight end U now, and we have so many good tight ends that we're able to watch on a Sunday or even on Saturdays now as well. Who's maybe an NFL guy that you tell your guys that you would like to watch, or maybe to watch highlights of? Because I feel like, I don't know, Kyle kind of got me hip to it, like showing NFL clips or NFL things of what you do to your kids, and it actually has helped a ton. And me and Kyle have bounced those ideas off of each other. And so I was wondering, do you do that? Do you have a tight end that you want them to watch or show them?
So we're going through it. Last year it was like Brock Bowers. Don't say you're super athletic and not want to watch that guy. Like, he lined up all over the field at Georgia. He lined up all over the field, like, for the Raiders. Then my biggest thing is we watch, like, where Kelsey lines up for the Chiefs. Okay, because that's really cool. He gets involved in so much screen game as yards after catch. We talk about that. Then we talk about, okay, in like where the kind of college game is. If you watch like Ohio State last year, what their tight ends had to do was multiple and versatile. And then you watch Michigan of how dominant they were at the line of scrimmage at times with their tight end running duo and doing some certain things that were really good. So like we pick out certain clips that kind of go with our offense and switch it from there.
Yep, that's like what me and Kyle have talked about, that we do stuff or whatever. But who's the best tight end to ever do it, Coach? We got to have this debate real quick.
Give me a top 5 that you think. I'm going to rank them.
Damn, a reverse.
Dude, he wants to see if you can even name 5.
Reverse card. So, like, for me, I feel like I missed out on some of the guys that you're going to talk about. Yeah, like you're probably you're Coach. I would imagine you're probably like a Dallas Clark kind of cat or something like that. I would say for me, I think Antonio Gates was a straight dog. I think that guy is one of them. And obviously Dallas Clark was a dog. That's why I mentioned him. Trying to send you a few of your old school, but obviously Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski. That's the number one for me.
Shannon Sharp.
That guy.
You got to go Sharp. You got to go Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez.
Okay. All right. We'll go Tony Gonzalez.
You don't even know who Jay Novacek was. Come on, baby.
I can't spell Novacek either, so it's the same thing.
It's tough, man. There's a lot of good.
There's a lot of good ones. That's where I'm like, who's the number one tight end to do it?
I think Tony Gonzalez started making it cool because he caught in the red zone. He would run a post, catch it, dunk it over the field goal post, and that's when it started like being cool a little bit. And then it took over from there. But because he was like the first guy that like lined up outside of, hey, he's going to be in line or off the line, he was able to line up at number 2 and do some things, which was really cool.
That's a good question, Ryan, but he almost got you.
He almost reversed. No, he tried to reverse me. I like that. I love every second of it. He put me on the spot.
He might have secretly did it by himself a little bit of time, but I love it.
I'm happy. I'm an Antonio Gates huge fan just because he's Kent State, right? Isn't he big Kent State cat?
Yeah. Didn't really start playing football till late.
Then
he played basketball all the way up and then decided, like, I'm going to try football. Yeah. I love George Kittle, man. I think I love him in just both phases. I love the tenacity he has. And have you
guys watched some of that tight end U stuff? Have you seen some of those? That is the coolest thing that they could do. That's so awesome.
Yeah, guy's got a whole complex. He just trains and brings people in all
Hey,
off
I
season there
heard
in
down
Nashville.
in Cincinnati and Anderson, they got money like that. They should have a coach's you.
I
Or
heard. I
something like
said
where we
my
got-
wife was asking me. Our wives were very involved, and they were asking. My wife asked, "Who's on tonight?" I said, "Head coach from Anderson." She goes, "Oh, I have a friend who lives there. That's one of the districts you want to live in. You know what I mean, down there." Because my wife actually lived in Cincinnati for a little bit. So anytime we used to call her Captain Cincinnati. She says she loves the Bengals and everybody else, but she can't name anybody on it. So we just started calling her Captain Cincinnati because we're a bunch of Browns fans.
I'm gonna
Quarterback,
tell
you got to
when
watch
you can
quarterback,
see-
boys. Joe Burrow, you got to watch it.
Yep.
That's
I got to
what
watch it with my
happened.
wife. I'm not finished because I have to watch it with her, and she's in bed already. So I got to
Yeah.
wait to watch the next episode, but she likes watching those ones.
I'm
But
excited to start that. But coach, I just know down in Cincinnati and Anderson, you guys got that money. I see only places got money where they got wallpaper in the background. Like we're all painted up in the background.
I'm
We got
old school.
wallpaper.
I'm not changing because it's 2025. Wallpaper for real, boys.
Coach just waited for it to come back in style. He left
Coach,
it
I
up,
love
and
it.
then it came back in style to where it became fashionable to do it again. But Coach, last question. You know, you're a guy that obviously runs a fantastic program, very knowledgeable. What types of trends do you think we'll start to see moving forward? What can we maybe expect to see out of tight ends or used in offenses maybe this year?
So I think in college, you're going to see some more guys try to do the 12 personnel, one small Y, one big Y, come back into effect. I think there's going to be some more shifting motion. I think you're going to see multiple tempos. But I think it comes back to our philosophy is the same 11 can get in different formations. I think you're going to see a trend of that because of the different tight ends people have had. They either recruited or got through transfer portal. And I think it's another thing of why people are rotating players so much so they can go recruit and get in the portal and say we've played over 60 guys in a game. So I think that's also a thing behind the scenes that's going on in the trend of, hey, we're going to play 2 to 3 tight ends. I do think we're going to have another trend of 13 personnel in college back again because of how many 4-2-5 guys want to be out there because Jim Knowles won a national championship. I think there's going to be more 3-3 stack guys coming out. So I think we're going to see more of that in some type of fashion. But I see them starting out and then motioning back in or starting in and motioning back out to take the corner and ID in the coverage. I do see that trend is coming more and more often, even in high school football.
We were just talking about that at football today. We were meeting as like a defensive staff. We had a board chalk talk and stuff. And then we talked as a staff, like after as the kids were getting ready to roll. And we were talking and we said there's a lot of teams that we feel like we're seeing now. They're just like adding more tight ends or adding more hip guys and just adding an extra body in there to help with their run game. And it also helps a ton with play action, I feel like.
I think it honestly, some of it is like we looked at Big Walnut last year of how many games they played in the wind and rain, of what they did with a 4-man surface, added another tight end, and shifted motion. And then if they got you on outside zone, like their kind of necessity was because they were going to build on physicality. Then you go up and play a team in Northeast Ohio, and they were built on 11, 12 personnel. If you look around the state of like where people are and what they're building is, okay, to win in weeks 13 through 16, you got to be able to win a couple wind, rain, snow games for sure.
Yeah.
It's always going to boil down to that at some point.
Yes.
Coach, man, we appreciate you coming on, and we wish you luck. I know, obviously, you know, right away when you got on and said you're starting practice 7 minutes early, we know you're pretty determined for what the goals are here in 2025. So we wish you luck. Thanks for coming on, man, and we're going to follow you.
Okay, before I go, I got to ask you, what is the best piece of advice that you guys give to a new coach on your staff?
Best piece of advice.
Who wants to go first? Go ahead, Kyle. You go first. I'll go next.
I think the biggest thing is, what are your goals? I think some guys, they're happy with just being a position coach, and so they're good with that. I always challenge people that if this is something you want to do and you want to grow, start learning other things now. Don't wait until it's too late to start learning just some fundamentals of, say, about a wide receiver play, even if it's just basic stance and start, be able to take over an indie for just a group if you need to, and just understand some of that. And that takes years. Year 15 now, and I still feel like I'm learning more and more about receiver play and the art of stemming and doing different things. So I think that just diversify yourself a lot with that, and then do everything. Be willing to show up and just do all the extras, do everything right away. I think that separates a lot of people.
I think that was going to be what I was going to say, like geared towards it though, Kyle, is just like, be a sponge though. I would just tell them, be a sponge, and you're going to have opinions, but your opinion really doesn't matter at that time, to be honest. Because I feel like when I was a young coach, like at Pick North, Kyle will tell you, I feel like I was very opinionated. I would say like what was on my it was on my mind, whatever I thought, when I could have been just learning from a lot of the older guys and a lot of the coaches on staff that I could have probably learned a lot more from than I did, because of the way that I was as a young like assistant before I became a head coach. Now I look at myself and I look back on previous times and I'm like, damn, you were a horrible assistant. I would have hated to have me on my staff. I would have literally been cussing my own self out. And I feel like for me, it's just be a sponge. And when it's your turn and when it's your time to take over a program, you can change the things that you didn't agree with necessarily. But like for the head coach, that's their program. For the offensive coordinator, that's what they believe in, what they do. And same for the defensive coordinator. And they know that there's an order on how things go, like on a coaching staff. And I feel like for me, I just didn't understand that. And I feel like I was picking battles with everybody and just for no reason on some things. I think that I could have been just a sponge and I really would have learned a lot more. And I probably would have been a little bit more successful in my first like 2 to 3 years of my head coaching career if I would have did that.
Yeah. I'm only heading into year 4, but I'd say build relationships, which, by the way, heading to year 4, very impressive feat. Stout heading to year 15 after starting coaching at 35. That's pretty crazy. But head into year 4, build relationships, right? Like we all want to win as coaches. I say this a lot. Like I'm in a unique position where I'm coaching at my alma mater, right? So like building relationships with the same kids that are in the position that I was. I think, yeah, you do want to win. I want to be able to say an impact was made with these kids, or even outside of the players. Big reason I'm even coaching is because I had some level of relationship built with Coach Stout, and I was sitting there, graduated from college, and I'm sitting there waiting to get in line for their playoff game, and Coach Stout comes walking up for the opposing team, and I'm like, Coach Stout, and he's like, "What's up, man? Like, how you doing?" And that kind of sparked where I'm coaching now. So relationships with everybody, kids especially, but everybody that you can.
Okay, one last thing. Do you guys have a drill that you think makes your program better every day?
Yes, absolutely. We go 4 plays every day. And so like the first day on Monday, it's offensive focus. They get the best 11 that they choose. And then we go best 11 on defense, no matter what. And right now we're in the time that we're in green and white. Right now we're on the green and white teams. So we're going to go 4 plays every single day, no matter what. Offense's goal is to score at least 2 of those plays, and it's at the 10-yard line. So they want to be a 50% rate. For us defense, we want to make sure we stop them 3 out of the 4 times. And so we really juice that up and make that an intense period. And every coach on the coaching staff, we have bets between each other. So it's a beer on our Thursday night. And so like I'm with like the receiver coach. I call the defense coach just to like add that in too. So we have bets between each other. So in defense, we truly dominated them last year on all facets, and they kept owing us peers every Thursday before our games. But it has been something that I started 3 years ago, and I've been here now 6 years, or this is my 6th year, but it has changed our program, and our kids love it, and they like get juiced up. So every single day we go stretch. Once we get pads on, we go circle drill. Then we go 4 plays. No questions asked. Circle drill and 4 plays every single day to get our juices flowing. And if the kids aren't juiced up enough, we're doing 8-count bodybuilders, and we're killing them before we start practice. But like our kids are so bought into it now. If we're even being slow, they're like, let's go. We got to go our 4 plays. Let's see who wants to play today. So it's been awesome for us. That's one thing.
Dime, I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, like
give
I'm
your
thinking,
opinion.
we don't offensive wise. We do some things like individually. There's drills that are like our musts, like at least for offensive line and over receivers, running backs, the same thing. I'd say as a team, the one thing that sticks out, like from a drill wise, defense does, they do their pursuit and tackle every single day. Summer practice, I've seen them do it off season, like 7-man sessions with only 7 people. A Thursday before the game, their pursuit and tackle drill they do every single time. And Coach Holliday's our defensive coordinator. That'd be the drill. I would say Coach Ward has his thing about touching the white and doing a certain amount of push-ups every single time, which is a standard thing. But I don't know. That's been a Gahanna thing for a long time. But drill-wise, I think back to our defense doing pursuit and tackle every single day, no matter what. No matter the opponent, no matter what happened the week before.
Yeah, I think the two things that come to mind is it's not even physical stuff. For me, I think what's helped us the most are 2 different walkthrough things. I've always prided ourselves on blitz walkthrough, blitz pickup period. I think we do a really good job getting dialed in on the opponent blitzes and showing our kids what that is and breaking down your tendencies and teaching our kids like, hey, when we're on this part of the field or these types of downs. And so we'll do that. And I think some of our best work is when it's sometimes not even super physical. Sometimes it's just standing up and watching where it's going to come from and training your eyes to the assignments that we have, whatever protection we're doing. Or sometimes we'll do it live and then we'll walk through it afterwards, or we'll flip it up. It just depends. Maybe we'll watch it, then rep it. And I think our run game walkthroughs have been really helpful. I think we've compartmentalized it to sometimes be like a by formation. So we might hop into those 12 personnel sets and we might say, hey, here's what we really want to do at 12 personnel and these formations this week. Or we've switched it up because we're a gap and a zone team. We'll go through our favorite normal down and distance gap runs. And then the next day, it'll be our favorite normal down and distance zone type of a runs. And so we'll really hit the core of our game plan in a 10, 15-minute period, walking through all these possibilities, getting calls, answering questions. And I think it's helped us from an assignment perspective in both ways a lot.
Agreed.
Kyle, do you think it's better to have all zone, all gap, or do you go 2 gap, 2 zone?
We probably have 8 to 9 runs in our playbook, but we don't carry that into the game. But we build it on 4 key plays, and that's usually inside zone, outside zone, and then counter and duo. Before we ran duo, it was power. If we've mixed around with power read when we have a more athletic or a guy we want to run, but we've just had really pro style quarterbacks who, for us, we want to keep them protected and not take as many shots with them. But I love those plays with all the ways you can layer them up with RPOs and play actions and quarterback tags and bash reads and different things. And then we'll get into other stuff like onside G traps and pin and pull. Like we'll play around with auxiliary runs, but those are always, the bulk of what we do.
No, you already shut down pin and pull. It's not happening this year.
He just shut that down on the phone with me literally just yesterday. Shut up, Kyle. I just said something to you and you're like, I don't do pin and pull. Our guys are not running out there doing a good.
I just said this guy wants to put in pin and pull, and we've had 6 practices. Like we're still not even great at what we do yet.
Unbelievable, Donnie. How are you working with this son of a gun every day, dude?
It's fun.
Jesus.
I have a good time.
I didn't say no. I just said, hey, we haven't even hit August 1st yet.
Yeah,
let's maybe get really good at what our core is first.
He did say that, Sayers. I can't speak to your conversation. But
on our combo, this man was like, nope, our alignment aren't doing that. And it's expensive to buy into. Hey, Coach, listen, man, I appreciate you so much. Awesome having you on. Awesome getting to top it up with you and be able to meet you and understand a little bit about Anderson. And hopefully next season, we can just get you on and do an episode about Anderson High School. It sounds like there's a bunch of unique things that go on over at Anderson High School, which is awesome. But everybody that's listening, make sure that you download, subscribe, you comment, you let us know what you want to listen to. Let us know if we're doing a great job or if you like it or things that you might want us to ask the guest. But thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate you. Who do you guys play week 1? It's a team, hold on, from Kentucky. It starts with a C, right?
Yep, they were state runner-up.
They were 14-1 last year. You guys were 15-1. Who is it? I looked it up today.
Cooper High School.
Cooper. Yep, Cooper. I seen it today. They're orange, right? What are they? The Cooper what?
Cooper Jaguars.
The old Jags, buddy. Hey, them
Raptors way cooler.
Yeah. Them Raptors better tear the Jags apart.
My money line's on the Raptors.
How much? What's over under?
Over under will be like right around 98.5.
Damn, a lot of points were scored in that game, boys.
Not a
Holy
good game.
shit.
Not a good game to be a D coordinator.
Yeah, not a good game to be out there with those boys.
They have a quarterback committed to Western Kentucky, and we'll be fine. I think the biggest thing is they've had spring ball, they've had a spring game, and they just came back from a dead period where they can go full blast. We're like that whole acclimation day still, and it'll be exciting though.
You can do it if you want.
That's
And
Good
hey,
luck.
Coach, good luck. Hey, we'll be cheering for you. I became just a huge Raptors fan without meeting you just because of the Raptors, boy. Like, that's a fire one. But good luck, Coach. We appreciate you.
Okay, appreciate you guys. Good luck, man. Enjoy the fall. Enjoy
Yes,
coaching
sir.
kids. Love
Appreciate
it.
it,
sir.
Coach.